All right, late start tonight. Excuse me. And e-signal charts are kind of messing up on me, so I'm using TC2000, which is a little different for me, so I'm not as good at maneuvering them, but that's sort of my backup charts. And on e-signal, this is a new issue, so this is all there is of the chart, which is what, 6 days. On e-signal, they would be over here to the right and wouldn't have all this blank space, but instead, anyway, you would have the blank space to the left instead. So the charts look different. That's why RACE, which who doesn't want to make a trade in Ferrari. Hasn't put in a green candle yet. It is finding buyers. You can see the tail here and tail. So it's finding buyers down in this area. So potential bounce play. Not in love with it or anything. There's not a lot of history to go on, but potential bounce play for a trade. Okay, geez, I like I said, these charts are kind of messing with me a little bit. Weight Watchers. I think this took off in after hours, but again, I'm a little handicapped because I don't have any of my charts set to after hours here. Okay, I've switched to 15-minute candles, which encompasses after hours. This spike right here is what I was thinking of. And after hours, it got a little spike. I think there may have been a news blurb about Oprah increasing her stake. So it went as high as 1685, and after hours looks like it settled in around 1662-ish. So closing, so it had a little bump in after hours, which makes this a little bit interesting to watch tomorrow. One of my least favorite for tomorrow, but it still might be worth having on a chart. Okay, AKRX, if I can pan out here. Okay, this was down 3 or 4 days in a row here, down into support, and we actually played this for a nice bounce that day. And since that day, okay, since he had that flush out on volume, it bounced, and for the last 3 days has gone sideways, all right? So now it becomes interesting to me that it might have a move higher here since it's not heading lower. All right, and I took the after hours off of it this time, and I'll just throw that line there. You can kind of see that it's got resistance right at that line after this big flush out. So I like it over this area. It might push up $1 or $2, which would be a really nice day trade. So this one goes on watch. And let me go back to the daily. I apologize, I'm not that great. E-signal charts I can maneuver in my sleep, but they've been screwing up for me lately. So I'm not as good at maneuvering these. All right, so that's AKRX, VDSI. I like this. I had this pop back here. I didn't mean to draw a line. The high there was 2026 right here. And today's high looks like it was right about, again, I'm not good with these charts. Today's high was 1998. So if we get through today's high, push through 20, you might break this 2026 right here. And I do like the volume. Okay, so it pan out a little bit. It doesn't look bad. It looks good over 20 on volume, I guess is a better way to put it. NCR. Again, I can't maneuver these charts. I had it on long watch the other day, and then it did this the very next day. So no harm, no foul. I didn't take a trade in it. Well, then today gaps up and is right back up. It actually broke these recent highs for a little bit. So I want to watch this one for potential red to green. That might have sucked in some shorts here, and then it's right back up. It does have room above today's high, so that one goes on watch. EQT, very nice, like a week's worth of selling right down to support. I want to watch this for a potential long. I think we get a bounce off this area. Skechers, SKX, decimated here. But a lot of times when a stock has a big gap down like this, they go into a range. And, here's the bottom of the range, and the next day the top of the range. So between basically that line and that line. So now we put in a little green hammer daily candle. So this looks good over today's high. It might continue to bounce. All right, so that would be a potential trigger price, depending on how it opens, of a break of today's high, which would be 31.39. And then just to the left of that, you might break yesterday's high, which would be, where's my numbers? 31.52. That's not right. Yesterday's high was 31.70. 31.52 on an intraday basis. Again, I'm not good at maneuvering this chart, and I'm tired. I'm got kind of a nasty sore throat, so I'm going to wrap this up. I'm not going to be that thorough tonight, and I apologize. Anyway, 31.39 is a break of today's high. 31.52 was kind of an afternoon high yesterday. And then 31.71 would actually break yesterday's high. So you do have kind of a few stacked catalysts. I always have those numbers written down: 31.39, 31.52, 31.71. Three catalysts, potential catalysts, I should say, that might move this higher. XOMA had a nice pop here, and then kind of put a lower high today. So if it breaks today's high, you've got today's high was $1.38. So $1.39 might push it through yesterday's high, which was $1.40, and then you might get up above this high, which was the high of the day it gapped down, which is 144. So there's three catalysts there. 139 would be my trigger to enter. 141 would be a break of yesterday's high, which is another catalyst right above. I like these stacked catalysts. I'm a big fan when you've got another domino to fall right above a trigger that I call. All right, so 31.39, $1.39, $1.41, and then maybe up into the gap over $1.43. So you have stacked catalysts there, potential. MNGA, kind of a quiet idea. Put in a little narrow green hammer today. We had it on bounce watch for today. Never gave any kind of trigger. I only traded the morning today. We had a fantastic morning. Or at least I did, and I think most people did. In most part for me, thanks to VTL, which I can show you real quick here. Had this on watch and got us in around 770 was my call with a 15-cent stop, and the thing ended up going to 906. And now we're up into that gap. To me, this is one that's extended because you got 4 green days in a row, so it's not on watch for tomorrow. But I just wanted to share with you. We had a really nice trade in that one. So back to MNGA. A little green hammer candle at the daily 20 after a really nice percentage move, almost a 50% move here, probably, maybe even more than that from here to here. Actually, more than that. 4 days lower, and then a nice little green hammer. So I like this as a potential long over today's high, which will be $1.19. You might get a move higher. All right. Hopefully we'll find some gappers in the morning as well. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm headed off to bed. Have a great night, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.